Wednesday night. Showing 0 here, 0 online. 30 seconds in. 1 thumbs up. What's up? Bob, what's going on? I had one of your boxes in my hand. It's got 4 stacked micros in it. We don't have the orange toiletry bag. We're seeing if we can build that tomorrow. What am I looking for? Single guy life hacks. What's up? This is a much smaller fanny pack. Jared Bryan, what's up? Web Dad, how are you? Ordered my Multicam Tropic large bag, right on. Empty, what's up? Byron Roberts, Lutz, what's going on? Built this earlier tonight. This one was finished today. This is the final sample. This is how these are going to be. So those will come pretty soon. Mr. G, what's up? Keating, what's up? How are you? So we have small utility pockets going. Black, OD, Coyote, more OD over there. We have Tropic. No, yeah. Mandrake. We have Mandrake, copper eggs sewing right now. Those will finish tomorrow. Right behind those, we have Multicam Arid butt packs. Those will be sewn. And then I've got Raid Red Thread, AKM4 micro rigs. And then I have Raid Black AKM4 micro rigs. I'll bet those finish tomorrow too. Orange toiletry bag, white saffron, right on. I was actually going to just refund it and ship the thing, issue a gift card, and then I realized it was yours, so they're seeing what they can do. Josh Tharp, mini pack. What's the question with the mini pack? That new fanny pack looks awesome. My FUPA and got mini pack in the mail, right on. Brandenburg, what's going on? Mr. D, how are you? Is Raid Black Cryptek? No, you're thinking Typhon. Raid is gray and black Cryptek. It's this right here. And the pattern is much more present. Like the pattern on it is way better than Typhon. Chuck Peoples, what's up? Dan, what's up? All right, 41 people on here, 28 thumbs up. Get those thumbs ups up there. Raise that up for me. And type some shit out, and we can have a conversation. I cannot stand here and walk around and just talk to myself, though. Jean Paul Jones, what's up? Multicam Black. There's not anything called multicam. It's not black multicam. It is Multicam Black. That's what the company calls it. Multicam Classic, Multicam Tropic, Multicam Arid. I know what you meant, and the answer is Multicam Black. we have guys that still buy everything we make in Typhon, because Typhon's been around a couple of years longer than Multicam. So guys started, you know, putting pieces together and building their collection, and they want everything, you know, all uniform. So they stay with the Typhon because they don't want to reinvest in the Multicam. But hands down, Multicam Black, probably 10 to 1. Will we make rifle bags? We will. We owe them to some people. Do not wait for our rifle bag. If you actually need a rifle bag, go get you something that's on the market. I think you're probably very close to not ever using a rifle bag again. You are probably very close to everywhere you go, you're going to have a fucking rifle present in your hands. Four chicks. I saw that picture empty. I actually replied to it, didn't I? I had no idea who you were. Just electric fence the whole property, 3 polystrands. Right on, man. How much property is that? Typhon Royal Blue Fan. Yeah, it's nice. All my pieces Multicam Black except one of them. Must know when starting rabbits. You're 8 dogs, you're gonna need a lot of rabbits. You can hang your cages and suspend them from the roof. I have mine not suspended from the roof. Suspended from the roof definitely is a little easier, because I have mine on sawhorses that are on 2x4s on sawhorses. So everywhere the sawhorse is, you'll have manure. Now, I keep my rabbits a lot heavier, like keep one female per cage, have a lot of cages. It'll just be easier to clean up after. Feed them pellets. Everything you're feeding that's not producing for you is a pet. So if they don't produce after the 2nd litter, they don't take care of them. By the 3rd, kill them off. Take your babies at about 4 or 5 weeks, and you can put them out in tractors, and they'll shit all over the ground and eat what's on the ground, and it'll cut your feed bill considerably in the summer. And then when you move them, I'm trying to kill this bug here. When you move them, throw down a little seed, whatever you want to grow there, clover, whatever it is. And when you fly a drone, look at this cat likes to sit here. When you fly a drone, 6 weeks later, you will see the rectangles where those chicken tractors were will be vibrant green. They'll be just much, much brighter green than everything around them. Don't know if the wife and kids with Tim, then they've never fucking been hungry. They've never been hungry. Like, you need to have a serious conversation with yourself over that. I don't know if they'll eat them shit. When there's nothing else to fucking eat, are they going to just die, or are they going to eat the rabbits? So I look at it as keeping animals on the hoof. I was telling Jack Spirko that yesterday. I said, you know, we have kind of like an expensive farm zoo, in that I don't have a lot of zoo animals. I have a lot of farm type animals, and we don't eat a lot of them. I just consider it meat on the hoof. I have a breeding program. We breed the rabbits. The benefit of the rabbits when we don't eat them is I use them for dog food, and I use them for the manure. Like, there is a huge, like, you cannot turn on, I say TV. I haven't had the TV on probably in six months. I haven't turned a television on. And in the last 5 years, it's probably been on, I don't know, a dozen times. You can't look at any social media or anything and hear that there's about the high price of oil, and potash isn't being imported, and fertilizers are going through the roof. Farmers can't afford to farm. You're going to need to be able to make some fertilizer, and compost and rabbit shit are the best things you can do. You won't have to rely on the store. Barbecue, fried, baked, and boiled. Right on. Chicken names. Any H harnesses for M4 micro rig? Yeah, order one. You're never, like, I could have 20 sitting here. You're not going to get it. Like, until you order it, it's not going to be made. You are never going to get an H set until the day you order it. So order the one you want. And typically what we do is I walk over here where we have a bunch of pieces and I put your order slip in here. And a lot of times they build it and it ships the next day. These are all pre-cut pieces to H harnesses. Order it with something else, you will completely fuck your order up. When you order an H harness, you order a rig, don't order a fucking H harness with it. We'll ship your rig that day if we tell you we got rigs ready. Your H harness, and there'll be times when you order it and your shit will sit here for weeks waiting for it. So just be aware. Raid Royal Blue tool bags? No, I don't have any of them. Did we get more trees in the ground? No, it's been raining today and yesterday. It's fucking pretty cold outside, actually. I'm back in shorts. I almost put pants back on today. Kind of being a pussy this year, I guess. We got chickens and sheep. Just was thinking rabbits for diversity. Tim, if nothing else, man, get the rabbits. Know how to take care. There's nothing to taking care of them. When I was growing up, literally, and I lived in the city. I was a city kid. Every fucking kid's house I went to had a rabbit. Had a rabbit, a cat, and 2 dogs everywhere. Even on military base. Military housing, all my friends had rabbits. Like, it's just something you had as a child, like having a hamster or a goldfish. So get you a couple rabbits. Just have your cages in a row. We go up with a wheelbarrow and a shovel, and we shovel all the rabbit shit into the wheelbarrow. And if you don't need it right then, just put it in a pile. We take some T-posts and we space them so that we can put pallets over the T-posts. And we make what's a pallet? 3x3, so a 6x6, maybe 6x6 bin, right? And then we put some gate doors on the front, and it's just a compost pile. Anything comes out of the garden, any greens. If you have chickens, we feed everything to the chickens. But just put that rabbit manure there, and if you need it, like, you can take it right from the pile of rabbit shit, and you can just put a couple inches of it on top of your beds for your planters. Rabbits are sabotaged. John Odell, what's up? Leonard Fisher, what's going on? Got shipping. What'd you order? Did you go on tornado watch? I don't know, buddy. I have no idea. Like, I had a massage tonight. It was done about, I probably was done about 6 o'clock. And then Amanda had a massage. I've been sitting here sewing. I had earbuds in. If there was a tornado, could have wrecked the entire fucking town, and I wouldn't know about it. What density can you do rabbits on grass? So my chicken tractors are 24 inches by 8 feet, 6 feet. I don't know how big they are. I'll put, like, small bunnies, man. You could put 20 of them in there. We just drag them every day. Kind of watch them when you pick them up. You have to have wire on the bottom, big enough that they can eat through, but not big enough that they can get through. So just pick it up. Make sure you don't have any feet caught. Move, and when you're setting it down, if the feet are hanging through, just kind of set it down gingerly so they can kind of move their feet. Otherwise, you'll break a leg. But when they're bigger, it doesn't matter. And just drag them every day. You can run them pretty heavy. Large tool bag in multicam tropic, and I would like to see what's coming. Why would you do that? Why would you order that if you don't know what color it is? Starting to like raid, right on. Looks like people are getting better at smashing that like button, right? Yeah, it does seem that they are, yes. This is Multicam Tropic. This is what is shipping. That's what you will get. And if you ordered nothing else on that order, it will ship tomorrow. Tropic would work really good here in Tennessee in a couple months, as soon as all the leaves come on the trees. Getting ready to close a deal on 12 acres of land for a homestead already. Has electric. Right on, man. Right on. Where's that at? Arid stuff we're doing is awesome. We're doing something else in arid right now. Butt packs. We got butt packs. They just cut butt packs today in arid. Come on. And then there's a few other colors. Woodland, I think, is coming. Ryan Ray, what's up? Bob Lester, California or New Zealand? And they're pretty interchangeable. Like I have them, we've bred them together, mutts. You'll see people say giant Flemish. The giant Flemish takes longer to breed. So pound per pound for feed conversion to pound of meat, it's not a better deal. And the bone structure is bigger in the giant Flemish. So, I mean, you will see people say that and tout that. Just find you some New Zealands, man. You'll be totally happy. And you can get all white rabbits, depending on what you want to do with the fur. But like we feed them to dogs and we don't even cut the bellies open or anything. We just give them to the dogs and the dogs just eat them. I have one dog that always leaves 4 paws. San Juan rabbits, not familiar with them, man. I have not ever heard of them. Middle of nowhere. Right on, Missouri. Okay, right on, buddy. Good for you, man. Do you ever listen to music? All the time. All the time. When I'm working, especially if you see me on a live feed where I'm sewing, I always have music on. I move a lot faster with music than I do trying to listen to a podcast or something. How many does can a buck service? 30. 30. Get you a really good buck. Get you a really good buck. Have a second one and just kind of rotate them back and forth. Like I've bred 3 or 4 females to 1 buck in a day, but just breed one to a buck each day. If you want all your rabbits to drop all at the same time, just get you 3 or 4 bucks then, and then just breed 4 on Monday and 4 on Tuesday. They literally have a litter 30 days, like almost to the hour, man. Sabaton, yeah, I think Sabaton's a great band. Yeah, that Warsaw song, yeah, Sabaton's fucking awesome. No white rabbits, white chickens. The white feathers make too much mess. If I have, I don't ever see any rabbit like fur anywhere, never. But if I have white feathers, like if I have any feathers in the gravel, I just torch them. Even when we slaughter chickens and we have like feathers everywhere, I just hit them with a torch, and it disintegrates and burns them right up like hair. Tyler Mallory, what's up, buddy? Large tool bag and Hanks came in today. Can't wait to get home to look at it. Man, those Hanks are very nice, man. Soccer mom minivan, limousine company, super stretch. That's my next hustle. Male revenue dancers available. Right on. Male review dancers. Right on. How many shoes do you keep stored for hard times? So John Paul Jones, man, I have hundreds of pairs of shoes in sizes that don't even fit me or anybody in my family. We had friends that worked at REI, and REI used to do used gear sales every quarter. And the deal with REI, you could buy a pair of shoes, and if you didn't like them, you just take them back, and REI would sell them for about a quarter of the price. And then it's worth it. You used to be able to just literally use them until they were done, until they were broken and fucking worth nothing, and they take them back. But REI changed that, so it's only 2 years that you have to exchange them now. So we would buy shoes. We would literally go to REI, and I would spend $10,000 at the used gear sale. We would buy so much shit, I would have to have a friend hold it. We would bring it home in the truck and go pick up a second load. We bought, like, my basement in my first house here, it looked like a combination between REI and Walmart. Like, I even have, I don't know if I'm supposed to say this, I even have all of the store fixtures, and I mean every fucking store fixture, from 2 REI stores. Like, I could set up in this building right here. It could look just like REI in here. I have all of that blonde wood and stainless steel stuff that was in all those stores. I also have a lift. I have a battery-powered forklift that I got from REI. I traded them $200 in Chick-fil-A coupons for them. Watching these streams is like kicking the ass to get more shit done. Jiva Dea, I'm not sure who you are. Just do something, right? Just do something. Because most of the stuff that we're putting off, it's not hard. Like right now, I have a 7-tier, let me know if this dies out here. I have a 7-tier grow tower that I need to take. I've got 2 or 3 pots of strawberries, and I need to just divide them and put them in there. That wouldn't take, I could literally do that task in 10 minutes, right? How many tasks do we have that we could do in just 10 minutes and then have progress? You have momentum. And once you have momentum, as the snowball rolls down the mountain, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. So just do things through the day or evening or your spare time or whatever. Do things in a manner that you have something to take a photo of. So take a photo, do it like this, right? Maybe we should call it like the SOE challenge or the SOE, proof hashtag or something. Just take a picture at the end of the day for Instagram and put up a picture of the fucking 10 things that you got done today, whatever they are. 6 pairs, high-test steel-toed boots and storage. Right on, right on. Oh, so what I was going to say, Jonathan Odell, is that I've been opening brand new shoes, and it seems like the adhesive on some of them is failing. Top 2 crypto, man, I like Bitcoin, man. I've got Bitcoin, I've got Ethereum, and I've got Hex. I've got a few other things too. You have less than a dozen pairs of boots and shoes. These are just the shoes that I've worn that got put on the shelf and just sat here collecting dust. Like I have piles of brand new shoes in boxes. But these are just kind of like where the shoes went. I need to clean all this shit off. I've got a Solo boots, I've got Solomon boots, I've got all kinds of shit sitting here. Because when I wear a pair of shoes and it gets super muddy, or you get like, you're out there and you get duck shit down in the inside of it, there's bacteria in there. That shoe's never going to be a clean, nice shoe like that you go out on the weekends with. So they're not worn out. They're just, dirty. The tread's still okay on them. So these just become outside shoes. And a lot of times we'll have employees here and I'm like, hey, come on. And they'll be wearing fucking some stupid ass looking shoe, right? They've got on some fucking sneakers that are white. And if they go out on the farm stuff, those shoes will never be the same. So I have shoes sitting here. So should we have somebody that doesn't have appropriate footwear, they can just wear a pair of those. Panic Prepper 1 made me do it. Yes, so we get her done. Bobby Abner, what's up, buddy? Proof of work. I like proof of work. Do the things challenge. I like that. I like that one a lot. What hashtag should we use for IG? SOE prep crew, SOE doing the work. Start doing a 4:30 live stream. I'll do some cardio. Hunt. That at 4:30 in the morning, I'm doing shit. Like live stream's not an option. I used to about 9 o'clock, I'd do 30 minutes of cardio on a Facebook live stream, and there'd be 5,000 people on there every time. Fucking thousands of people. But it doesn't work like it used to work. Panic Prepper shirts, maybe so. We'll get a few more episodes and see. No, I don't have any Shibu. Had a customer today, unloaded on me for shipping delays. Told him he was lucky that I couldn't use his name as a discount code. So I'm in a group, a freeze dryer group. And when you buy, like, the trip is this, right? These people complaining about Harvest Right. That's the company that makes this freeze dryer. You literally don't have another single fucking option to buy a freeze dryer other than Harvest Right. They're the only motherfuckers in the game. I don't know if it's because they hold a patent on the technology. I don't know why. There is not, like, if it was going to save your fucking life to find another freeze dry, you couldn't. You would just die. Like, this is it. That's it. There's nothing else. And until you go fucking $50,000 and you buy a big unit. And that's a small one at that. So, all these people complaining, I ordered a Harvest Right, and they ran my credit card for $4,000, and it's not going to ship for 3 weeks. 3 weeks, you fucking bitch? We ordered that motherfucker. It took almost 4 months to get here. And these people pissing and moaning. I would love for somebody to screenshot that shit and send it to Harvest Right and find out Harvest Right fucking just canceled all their orders and refund them. Because you know what would happen? Not a fucking thing would happen. Nothing would fucking happen. Harvest Right, because of those people pissing and moaning, Harvest Right would fucking have, their back orders would be 6 months fucking within a week. That's how that shit works. You want to fucking go out on the internet and talk a bunch of shit and be a sniveling little bitch? No problem. Good luck. Go buy somebody else's freeze dryer, you fucking twat. Appreciate the fact John speaks to everyone and doesn't only speak to super chats. That's about to change. We're about to spin the super chats on, but I'll still talk to everybody. I've talked to everybody for the last fucking 5 years. Like, there's value. Like, you guys put stuff up and put stuff in my head that I go research that I had no idea about. Like, there's tons of shit that we've implemented. There's tons of things that we've added that are in here on the property because of you guys. Can you cut your hands to touch? Oh, look, she's back. How many times are we going to block her tonight? Let's see. Hide user from channel. She'll show up with the exact same bullshit under another name. Hunter New, what's up? Just starting raised beds. What would you suggest for starter plants? Damien, buddy, buy shit you like to fucking eat. Buy shit you like to eat. So for so many years, really until last year probably, we've always had raised beds. And some years we just fucking didn't ever plant them, right? But we've always had raised beds. And we would just plant, 4 of this and 4 of that and 4 of this. And when we were doing dinner, we'd go out and kind of cut some shit that would go with dinner, or we'd pull stuff to make a salad for dinner, or I'd do like a noodle bowl or some kind of like fried noodles and throw some meat in there with some bok choy and rainbow chard and basil, right? But if you want to actually preserve it and you want to can it, or you want to dry it, or you want to have it in your food preps for any, future use, you need to plant quite a bit of the exact same thing, because you want it to all come ripe at the same time. You want to harvest it at the same time and process it at the same time. You don't want to get all that equipment out and then every weekend have to do that shit. Just started seeds today in Virginia. Right on, man. I've got Issue Brown, and I have Isa Brown and Minorca chicks. What would you recommend? So I've not ever heard of those. Man, a chicken's a chicken. It's going to shit out an egg. I've seen a lot of chickens this year already that I don't remember seeing. So, and a lot of that might be because they're having to do business with other vendors. A lot of big poultry farms are locked down right now. I saw 2 more today say they're locked down. So I would tell you get like when COVID started, we bought every fucking chicken everywhere had. So I got, 10 of this and 20 of that and 30 of this. We've got chickens on the property right now we've never had before. They all lay eggs. I don't remember, I've got these 60 birds that just started laying, and they're making small eggs. And I'm attributing that to them being young. But I don't remember any of my birds in the last, decade when they start laying having a smaller egg till they get older. So I don't know, maybe these chickens just lay smaller eggs. But wherever you buy them, if you're getting like Tractor Supply Birds or Rural King or any of those places, they'll have on the tag, you know, big jumbo brown eggs. That's what I'm after. Good dual purpose meat and egg bird. Like I love Barred Rocks. I think they're amazing. I love the Brahmas, the big heavy Brahma chickens with the puff on their feet, like the feathers on their feet, and they're big white and black, just beautiful birds. Kind of look like a royal palm turkey. Rhode Island Reds, they're fucking mean. They'll beat the shit out of other chickens, but they're great producers. They lay great eggs. Just buy something. And so a lot of people too, like we weren't sure about the COVID stuff in the beginning. So like we spent weeks, we fenced everything. We brought in extra lighting. We put in redundant camera and security systems. We brought in all kinds of, like we brought in concrete barriers that were 3,500 pounds a piece. Just a lot of stuff, right? So we brought in 200 chickens in a period of a couple of weeks. We started buying up rabbit cages to up our rabbit production. We put ponds in. We did water catchment off the roof that routes into the ponds. We did a lot of stuff. So I don't remember why I started telling you this. But we got every chicken we could get. Those lace wings are very pretty. I think that's what those are. Isa Brown said brown, large, extra large eggs. You'd be perfect, man. What is easier than walking outside every day and pulling eggs and walking inside and having breakfast? I don't know, I probably pulled 50 eggs today. And I've got 4 birds outside the wire that are over in the hay barn that have started laying nests in the hay barn. And I went to pull the eggs, and I realized those birds are sitting on those eggs. I don't know if brand new, just started laying birds will hatch those out. They're exposed to roosters. So I'm kind of just letting them sit. But I went to pull eggs the other day, and there was like 50 or 60 eggs up there. So I'm just kind of letting them sit there. And if in 30 days, I'll let them have them for a month. And if nothing's hatched, I'll take all those eggs and we'll just give them to the dogs. And then we'll just start pulling their eggs. We had small eggs for the first month or two. Okay, perfect. Good info. Good info. I see Tim saying the same thing. Going to try potatoes. So potatoes, we put potatoes in last year, and they grew a bunch of bush, right? They grew up a bunch of bush, and I didn't pull them when it got cold. I left them in, and I just went out. These are all potatoes we're about to plant. I pulled them. I went through all the dirt, right? And there was a bunch of potatoes in there, and I probably pulled out, I don't know, 20, 30 pounds of potatoes. So a lot of them had rotted and just, dissolved. They went through the winter, they went through the ice, they went through the snow, they've gone through all these fucking monsoon rainstorms we've been having. But there was still a lot of potatoes in there. Those carrots, there's a video where I pulled a carrot out and ate it. Those are carrots and rainbow beets in there. Same thing. When the season was over, I didn't pull them, and I've left them in there, and there's still carrots in there. Still pull them out and use them now. Can't get onion bulbs anywhere, sold out. Rural King had thousands of pounds of them. They had these big 4x4 bins, and you just scoop them in, and you could buy a 50-pound sack of them at Rural King. Used to store a box pickup bed of potatoes in a root cellar. Right on. So I've heard people, cool, dark place, not damp, cool, dark, dry. People keep them in sawdust. They put them in wood chips. You could just put them on like this wire racking probably, so they get air all around them. Would probably work really well. Headed to the gym. Right on, man. Liable to have a string of chicks come from the barn by accident. That's my expectation. I got the duck is back on a nest. She had, I think, 12 or 14 in there today. And then I found another duck. I've got an old bag of wood chips sitting in one of the kennels that nobody uses. And I saw the duck come out of there, and I thought I saw it come out of there. So I looked in that bag of wood chips, and she's got at least 20 in there. She's sitting on eggs. She literally crawls in that bag that's on the ground sideways, like some wind blew it over there or something, and she's got her whole nest built inside there. Breakfast is the story of involved versus commitment. The chicken was involved, the pig was committed. I have no idea what you're saying right there, but I don't know what you mean. Have you folks dehydrated fish? I have not, man. I have not. If you do some, send it to me. I would love to try it. My sister said I should get some turkeys, and they have huge eggs. They do. They do have huge eggs. Duck eggs are considerably larger, too. I installed pipes in the ground across the driveway to place removable bollards back when the market crashed in '08. So that's a great idea. That's a really good idea. We have a huge swing gate that's 3x3, 4x4. 4x4 quarter-inch steel square pipe tubing filled with concrete, and it's in a 5x5x5 base of concrete, and it pivots across. Like, you're not getting through. You might be able to hit it full steam, like with a gravel truck maybe, but you're not getting through it with any, personal driven vehicle. It's not. Like, we had a much thinner, flimsier gate that completely totaled out to a brand new Suburban and a Nissan or Honda or something car. About to shut the farm compound gate and see how long I can go without opening it. I think my garden and setup can do it for a while. Yeah, I'll bet it will, man. I'll bet if you open that gate, it's not going to be for lack of something. You're going to start making excuses, maybe, as an excuse. Oh, I need this thing. But if you're really honest with yourself, you probably don't. Just got the driveway alarm and rifle by the door. Right on, man. Right on. The one story about World War II my grandpa told me, they were in France, starving, ran across a garden, started pulling carrots, eating them, dirt and all. He said he couldn't even look at one ever. Bury a telephone pole as a speed bump, then put nails in it. Yep. There's tons of shit you can do, man. Fucking pile up gravel, throw fucking concrete in the gravel, let it harden up. There's so much shit you guys can do. Fall trees, all kinds of stuff. It's just how committed the person is, right? Who's trying to get to you is the real question. What's your biggest what's your biggest concern on a daily basis is government, local government. Who is coming after you? Bad guys aren't going to kick in your door in the middle of the night. Law enforcement does that. And maybe they have a real reason, or maybe they did it by accident. But how many times in the last let's just say the last 2 years, how many times have law enforcement served and executed a warrant and killed the homeowner, and turns out it was the wrong address at the house? That's really my biggest concern. I'm not worried about fucking crackheads coming after me. I'm worried about cops fucking executing a warrant at the wrong place, or cops thinking they have a case on something, come to find out that's not at all what it is. That's my biggest risk to family is that. So societal collapse, those dudes aren't getting paid. They're going to be home trying to defend their own families. The rules change. Excalibur crossbows. They seem to be great survival tool because of the simple design. So I don't think I have an Excalibur. I have a 10 point. I have a 10-point carbon fiber. I have several crossbows. Crossbows seem really neat until you have a crossbow. They take a very long time to reload. They're considerably louder than a normal compound bow. And you got one shot. You got to do a bunch of shit to reload it. I can probably fire 3 or 4 arrows, maybe more, in the time that out of my compound bows, out of the time that I could with a crossbow. Ferguson convinced me to use fodder trees as a barrier. Let them grow a few feet tall, saw them halfway through, and weave the next branch repeat. Especially those willows. Especially those willow trees. Hell yes, you can. And especially at the density rate we're putting them in, Bob. We're putting them in at 6 inches, right? 10 points are awesome. I work at a Bowtech dealer, and they are awesome. Does 10 Point own, is Bowtech own 10 Point? What's Bowtech's box store brand? Diamond. Diamond. Bowtech owned Diamond, too. I was listening earlier to the... And good to see you, Reed. For you guys that don't know, Reed packed up. He's a big boy now. Packed up, left mom, and went to Jackson Hole, Wyoming, man. He works at a very premier, high-end gun store, outdoor store there. And fucking awesome, man, the adventures you're having, I'm sure. Bowtech and 10 Point of trailer. Gotcha, Roger. Listening earlier to the governor of Texas using the buses to drop illegal migrants off in D.C. They asked him where... He said the capital said. That's awesome. Because you know DC, whenever they have big events and stuff, all the surrounding areas, they took all those fucking homeless people and bust them and dropped them off in California. That happens every time there's an election somewhere. When the motherfucking chicken hatches the chicks, will the older chickens peck the chicks to death, or will the mother hen protect them? I haven't seen a problem with it. Somebody else have an answer to that? We've had baby chicks and baby ducks show up a few times. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it does happen and they do kill them. Maybe that's why we don't see them very frequently. I don't know the answer to that. And typically, like, mama hen or duck will disappear and have eggs someplace, and then she just shows back up, you know? Shotgun pump style crossbow. Crazy money. There's air compressed crossbows too. Always shot Matthew bows. Never had a reason to try a different brand. So I liked Matthew. I had a friend named Bruce. Ran a shop called the Bow and Arrow Shop in Santee, California. And they would fly him all over the place. To do these 3D competitions and shit. He would go all over doing these things. And he was a big Matthews guy. And I shot Matthews. I shot a dozen Matthews probably. And I shot a dozen different Bowtechs. And I just liked the Bowtech better. When we went and bought Baby Head's bow, he shot a Matthews. He shot a bunch of stuff. And the bow that he liked the best was a PSE bow. So that's what we bought him. And we shot I'm fucking hungry. We're done shooting these fucking bows and test shooting these. Just fucking buy one. And it was the PSE. He didn't buy it because we were done. He bought it because it just felt the best in his hand. It shot the best. Grew up raising chickens. That shit happens, but we kept the chicks together. Yeah, once I see chickens show up, we'll snatch them up and put them, in a trough and get them a little bigger. Had a rooster that would kill the chicks as soon as he's seen them. Oh. PSE New Carbon John Dudley bows. Ridiculous. Right on. It's been fun, that's for sure. It's the off season for the next month or so. Only problem is I'm hooked on Sitka and Mystery Ranch. Yeah, I bet you are, buddy. I bet you are. Fucking Sitka. We tried to buy Sitka gear this year. Bass Pro Shop has some on display, but you got to look through a book and you've got to get an associate. It was fucking silly. So we bought a lot of gear this year, like out, cold weather clothing and rain gear and shit. But I still own 0 Sitka gear. I bought a lot of shit this year. Hens will typically protect their chicks. Right on. Scrambled egg chicken was involved. Bacon, the piglets committee. Right on. Berry telephone pole. I want to make some of those hedgehogs. I want to put some big, huge ones out front. Not to block the driveway. I just think they'd look fucking cool sitting there. Leo M, I'm fucking ignoring you. I've seen you ask that 4 times. Did I get Cobra buckles in? Yes. Clearly we didn't build yours. We're waiting on more Cobra buckles. If you don't have a .mil, .socom, whatever, we're not building belts. You want a belt fast? I can ship you a low profile belt tomorrow or the following day. As soon as Cobra buckles come in here, we will build 1,000 belts that week. It still won't fill all the orders. Nebraska, seen influx in people that don't speak English. Surplus, especially in the last 6 months. They got they were flying them into Nashville on fucking jets, on passenger jets, and putting them on big tour buses and dispersing them around Tennessee. Amanda and I, a couple months ago, were in Walmart in the evening. We're never there. And there was fucking 20 Mexican people there, or 20 brown people from south of the border. I don't know that they were from Mexico, Peru, Paraguay. I don't know where they're from. They were dirty is what stood out. They were looking around like they had never seen a fucking Walmart before. They're literally just like looking around in wonder. And there was a bunch of females, and it literally looked like they had ridden underneath a bus. They were just covered and dirty in like just black soot. It almost looked like they'd been in a coal mine, and not a one of them spoke English. And I had never seen that here in Camden. Turns out Costa lives an hour away from me. Reed, if you need to talk to him or you want to go see his place or anything, let me know. I'll put you with him if you don't have contact with him. Chris is going to be here next week, I think. Week after, Chris will be here in town. The name of the chest rig. I don't know what we're going to call it. Mini scalable chest rig. It's part of that whole package. I just built another one because we're about to build patterns for it, which I guess means we're about to start building them. The new fanny pack, we might put that out this week. It's much smaller. I've got the waist strap. I'm not really stoked on this. I need a different piece of hardware, so I'm going to try a few different things. It works. I just don't love the way it looks, but this will work the same as our fupa works, just like this, but you can take it, cut those jingles off. But I plan to just keep it like this, and we're using them for something pretty specific. Like, I won't ever walk around in town like this. When we get where we're going, we'll throw these on, and it'll give us the things that I want to have. We also have mini packs and day packs, depending what we're doing. But it just opens up. It's a main, I'll take this off here and show you. It's a main compartment, and it has pockets inside. It's just got a flat pocket here. It's got 2 pockets here, and then it's got another big pocket back here. But the straps won't remove. It's sewn in, and it is what it is. I thought about building it with Velcro on the back or pals, and you could use it as that, but that's not what this is. We've built several of them. Here's the other rig. I built this rig on Christmas, I think, Christmas Eve. But this is the one I built tonight. And I was thinking that I wanted to flat sew the seams right so it would be more compact, but I don't like the outcome of it. So I'm not going to actually sew the perimeters. So it'll end up staying like this. And it's Velcroed, both walls are Velcroed on both sides. So you just put your cards in there or whatever you want to put in there. We'll do fucking flap lids. We'll probably do a piece that zippers in so you could have a zipper. Literally got all my brothers buying your gear. I have 4 brothers. Then buy had great. Right on. Thanks. Thank you, man. How do I get rid of this thing? There we go. Mike DeWine, taking in thousands of Ukrainian refugees, already took in a bunch from Afghanistan. Mike DeWine. Who is he? Where is he? Iron Rider, what's up, buddy? Maybe rode a cargo train. Maybe. I know guys that have done that hobo shit, you know, and ridden around and stuff, and they're not dirty like that. Maybe they rode a coal train. What's the name of the chest rig? We just did that one. Don't chomp my chicken. Biden is shipping them all over the state. Well, somebody is. Somebody under the name of Biden. I don't think Biden has a fucking clue where they're going. I think you saw who's more in charge over the last day or two than Biden. A lot of rhetoric, man. They're going to fucking pull us into a war. Well, I'd say we're probably already in a war. Ohio governor. Biden phones to border crossers. Paskey called them trackers. Paskey's leaving, right? She's resigned or been fired or something happened. She's going to work for MSNBC or something. The governor of Ohio is supposed to be a Republican, behaves like a liberal. So you don't have any Republicans, right? You have Democrats and you have people that call themselves other things than Democrats. You have a very few people. There are very few people in politics that have any kind of our interest, right? Thomas Massey, you know, is one of them. Like, fucking great dude. He very well might be here at our next event. I've seen him at several of these things. But that's it. That's it. We don't have anybody. I started sewing. You almost become an origami expert. Yeah, you do. You do. And when you put stuff together in origami, it'll kind of stay. But when you sew it and then you turn it right side out, it doesn't always work. Has your prepping mindset influenced your employees to make changes in their lives? I hope so. Probably. Some of them. And then others, I think, have quit just because they don't align with the things I say. They don't agree with the things I say. Constitutional carry, yeah, we have all that shit. Massey is my rep. Proud to say that. So Massey homeschools his kids, lives 100% off the grid. MIT, fucking, like, just amazing engineer, fucking does all kinds of stuff. Trey Garrity. Who's the kid in the wheelchair? He seems pretty legit. I don't expect he'll be around too long, though, when he's saying we need to shoot tyrant politicians in the face. Like, he said that, which was awesome. Maybe we need a t-shirt that says that. Constitutional carry here doesn't make a difference for me. Yeah, it doesn't make a difference for most people I know. It makes a difference for lazy people. Madison Cawthorn, I like that dude. 80% globalist, 20% nationalist. I think they are all Republican. It is, right? It's the World Wrestling Federation. They don't care. The dudes that own the football teams, they don't give a shit which team you're there to see because you're in their stadiums. The same company makes the jersey for both sides. No matter which jersey you buy, they're fucking making money on all that licensed shit. They don't care. I thought you said I've never carried a day in my life. I didn't see the open part. Yeah, you can't lose if you bet on both teams. And they do, man. False dichotomy. They're all friends. Yeah, they're all fucking little children. Whether the night starts off with them fucking little children or they have woken up and they're with children and there's a camera in the room. But they're all fucking, every one of them was at Epstein Island. Why were the juries, how about you? Why were you not allowed? Why were the juries not allowed to see 80% of the flight fucking logs? 80% of those flight logs were fucking redacted. We're going to have cop rigs tomorrow. And some micro rigs, different micro rigs. Think about it. All those motherfuckers telling you guys you had to wear masks. They were all together at fucking Oprah's birthday party. They were all together in the stadiums. No masks. Fauci didn't have no fucking mask on. Can anyone FOIA the flight logs? I don't know the answer to that, Jen. The crazier shit is, these motherfuckers doing all this shit, why do they even let FOIA happen? They're gonna do it anyways. Why do they, who in there allows that to happen? I do work for congressional assistant. She says they all friends when cameras are off and go to dinner together. Like the ones you think hate each other. Absolutely, it's the World Wrestling Federation. Even Trump was on the fucking flight logs. Had some people try and get real shitty with me for not wearing a mask. One guy was really lucky he shut up. He was about to get put in place to flaunt their power. Yeah, it's they always telegraph the punch, right? I truly believe that the most crazy and wealthy, the most wealthy and crazy people get together in a mansion on an island in a secret cave somewhere, and they place their bets for the year. And they're like, okay, we're going to lock society down, and we're going to tell them they have to wear masks. And then the other crazy dude is like, all up the ante, $100 billion. And I'll tell them we're going to lock them down and they have to wear a mask, but they also have to screw a light bulb into their asshole when they're out in public. And I think they go off, they leave the island, and they see which one they can get done. I really think that. What else would fucking explain it? Yeah, businessmen are pissed COVID's done. Why do you have a bunch of children? Every day, children are having cardiac arrest at elementary school. When's the last time you heard of that? When's the last time you saw any child having a heart attack that didn't have some existing, defect or condition? We heard a lot more trafficking under Trump. You mean he exposed it and brought it to light? I agree with you. I do agree with you. Only time people had issue with me wearing a mask was in Tennessee. Only time people had issues with me wearing a mask was in Tennessee. Mike Gill, are you saying they wanted you to or they didn't want you to? Heart attack is the new ADD. Jason Vieira, Starlink internet. That's causing the heart attacks, the Starlink, you think? Death is up 85% in younger boys under 18. So I've seen several interviews or, news presentations, I guess, with people that work in health insurance, life insurance industry. And they said that like the last 20, 30 years, it's just kind of a plateau, right? The same rate of people die. And the age was 64 and under, and I think it was male 64 and under. And there's been a 40% increase in the last 12 months. Breaks my heart to see those kids in class with masks on. Is that still happening? I don't believe it is here. These little schools here in this town got $6 million. Where the fuck is that $6 million at in this little ass town? Memphis got 70 million. And that's just one part of it. San Francisco Bay Area in 82. When I was 10, I remember seeing Feinstein, Boxer, and Pelosi. They were old as fuck then. I'm going to be 40. They're still in office. The better question is, how are they even still alive? You gotta figure, when they put them on television, they look dead. When they put them on TV, they look dead. How the fuck are those people still alive? That's their best day. Like, they put makeup on them and dressed them up and pumped them full of fucking modafinil and all kinds of other shit, right? So imagine what they look like on a normal day. How the fuck are they alive? They're clones. Yeah, I'd go with that. Skin suit. Releasing the vaccine data after the federal judge ordered it. Why would they allow it to be released? Especially when they asked for what? 75 years until they release the information? Isn't that what they said? The fuck are these? Single pistols, right? Young blood transfusion. You think it's in, you think, so adrenochrome? You know there's an actual patent for adrenochrome, right? The synthetic adrenochrome. Remember during the lockdown? When they had everybody locked down and they were recovering all these fucking children, all this children trafficking stuff was going on, but all the Hollywood people were all locked down. And when you would see like Ellen DeGeneres, and remember they had Tom Hanks was supposed to be locked up in a hotel room somewhere under house arrest. Do you remember all that? Remember how terrible they looked? Like they had all just like doubled in age. And that's what people were saying. It's because they were using synthetic adrenochrome. They couldn't get real adrenochrome. And that was part of a lot of people speculated that a lot of the lockdowns were so they could recover all these kids and kind of keep people from moving around. Now, it doesn't seem that that was the case, but something is changing. Daughter went to doctor today for sore throat and cold symptoms. They don't even test for COVID. No, they don't. No, they don't. And you have all these massive companies that forced the vaccine, and then you do know the companies got paid for the employees that got vaccinated? Did you know that, all these huge corporations? Do you know they were paid for all their vaccinated employees? And the people that wouldn't vaccinate have to fucking take their, like Carhartt here in town. If you didn't vaccinate at Carhartt, they laid off firing people. You have to once a week, you have to log in on the internet and swab yourself and show your test on the internet. It's a one-way video. You can't see who's watching. But when you go to buy tests, people are saying that they don't have the test. The tests are sold out. So you have to buy the test. So somebody's profiting off the test, and then the companies are making you take the test, and the companies are getting paid for vaccinated employees. Yeah, Trump got the vaccine started. What kind of alcohol do you like to stock up on? Stuff I use, man. Stuff I use. Tequila. I mean, we have a lot of alcohol. We have. I've heard the whole, barter thing. We did buy a ton of mini bottles in case we ever need to barter. Disney gave its employees 4 hours of pay if they got the shot. Looks like Disney's about to fucking melt down. Who's this? Who the fuck? Abigail Disney? Abigail Disney, I think. A niece. Holy shit, she's saying some crazy shit. mRNA and alcohol? I don't know what we're talking about there. The bird flu going around is tested by the same PCR test. Yes. And the problem I have with that, like I've never fucking worried about bird flu, but they are shutting down major, what'd they just say? They said 60% of chicken and egg production will be gone this year. 60%. You'll be ramped back 60%. They're already telegraphing their punch. And I'm getting emails from hatcheries that I've done business with right now, today, 2 of them, saying they're closed down and they're not shipping any birds. So get your chickens right now. Get what you can get, because you might not be able to get what you want to get. But the fucking PCR test, they can dial it up, right? I don't know that it has an actual rheostat or a knob on it, but they can dial it up to say whatever they want it to say. They were testing so high, they were testing fucking fruit in the grocery stores and it was coming back positive. All the fucking animals in the zoo came back positive. In all the zoos. Crazy shit. They were vaccinating all those zoo animals. All those endangered species, They vaccinated them. How come we haven't heard anything about miscarriage rates in those animals? Because the miscarriage rate went up 400% in vaccinated females. Yeah, get an incubator and buy a. Yeah, you can do the Hovabator, but I mean, get a real incubator for $600. You can get a fucking badass incubator. Company offered $300 if you have it. Wants to get forced if you don't. Illegal immigrants getting smartphones from Brandon. And illegal aliens don't have the vaccinations, right? Did you know that? All these people that are letting across the border. And you keep hearing these numbers, right? Those are the counted ones. Those are not the ones they're not counting. Found bird flu in our area. Came over to question us about where we got ours, where we let ours roam. Basically told them to fuck off. Yeah. You better come back with more guns. What? I promise you, you don't have enough guns for this conversation you're trying to have. Get the fuck out of here. Go harass somebody that will tolerate it. I think the fact people are being fired from their jobs for having a personal political opinion outside of work is scarier than being fired over the vaccine. Tyler, buddy, it's the same thing. They're not firing them for not having the vaccine. Who are the people most apt to not have the vaccine? It's the same thing. And you better worry more about being fired from a job. You better worry about less that than they're going to turn your bank account off. This whole COVID shit, all these cities implemented the fucking COVID passport. It's not a COVID passport. It's your social credit score. They're doing it in Europe. They're doing it in Canada. It's been happening in China. You're going to say some shit, they're going to turn all your stuff off. You know, audiobooks is owned by Amazon, right? Do you know that unless you have an Apple phone, you can't buy from audiobooks anymore? You have to buy it through Amazon, and they make you use Google Play. You have to use Google Play to buy it. You can't just buy it anymore. Why is that? Because they're moving everything into one system so they can shut your shit down when they don't like what you're doing. Creative thinkers are a lost breed. Everything is about gaining more power and never. That's exactly it. A little bit at a time. Generational. Had to fill out a form for religious exemption. Had 15-minute interview to avoid the shot. If got denied, I would have taken the firing. I was fired for my politics and had a new job in 48 hours. Say it with me. Labor shortage. Yep. Masks are gone at my work, but since I'm exempt, I still have to test. Yeah. Joe Exotic out there, he's doing it. Oh, so the PCR test, right? They can just ramp that up. Do you know that police officers can signal their dog to alert even if you don't have drugs? Do you know that, right? Oh, the dog alerted. We got a search. We have probable cause now. Do you know handlers can just signal their dog to go off like that? That's like that PCR test. The person running the PCR test, they want to shut you down. They just fucking test at a higher level. Everything has what they're looking for when they test at a high level. Everything is a subscription now. I got a buddy that's kind of he's at Walmart, right? But he's not a normal Walmart employee. He's over a bunch of stores. Walmart is setting up stores right now, and they already have them where customers don't go to the store. It's like a fulfillment center because Walmart is trying to compete with Amazon. That's the whole thing with this curbside pickup and shit. Amazon, when you go to Walmart and you do the curbside pickup, our chef used curbside pickup, and he would go and they'd put 20 bags of shit in his car, right? He's shopping for 20 people that he cooks for every day. He would come back here and a lot of his shit wasn't there. They'd substituted it with something else, or some main thing he needed for lunch today just wasn't even in the bag. When USSR collapsed, you'd go to the store one day a week. On your day, you'd go to the store and you would wait hours to get in the store. And if you weren't there at the very beginning to get in the front of the line, then you were in the back of the line. By the time you got in, there was nothing in there for you to buy. But when they did, if you saw potatoes or apples, you didn't have a pick of what kind you wanted. They had one kind, and you got whatever it was. Walmart's having, and the United States is going to be having all kinds of food shortages. You can't complain to anybody if you're not inside the store. They don't have to worry about it. You don't see how bad it really is because you don't get to see inside the store anymore. They are conditioning everybody right now that you will not go to a grocery store and shop anymore. And that is the goal. I think I was told 40%, they're going to have 40%. They're projecting in the next, I think it was next year or 2 years. 40% of Walmart customers will not go to a Walmart store any longer. Digital currency, that's what's coming. That's why they're going to... Do you think as soon as the U.S. dollar collapses, do you think they're going to you're still going to have the U.S. dollar? They're not. It's all going to be a digital currency. Then they don't even have to print money anymore. Well, they really don't print money anymore. But you won't have to have it. Did you see the paperwork that came out today or yesterday? If the U.S. Post Office shuts down permanently, they already have it in place that the government will take over and get in the business of mail delivery. If they don't like you, whose mail do you think they're not going to deliver? Microsoft Office going subscription, $60 a year for Excel, PowerPoint. Apple wants you to lease their phones next. Yep. Fetal tissues are an ingredient in the vaccine. Yes, Muslims can't eat pork, but they're taking the vaccines. I don't know. Yeah, I guess. Guess who Google stores date for? Wait till we have digital currency. Yes. This is all just about making you fall in line. Remember you and Scully touching on the subject about your life being shut down by the government in your old SOE pod. Yeah, absolutely. Police dogs have over 80% false hit rates. COVID 1984, yeah, all the money printed, still have yet to see bills from 21-22. Oh, good point. Good point. Looking at property around Crab Orchard, but need to find some work in the area. All right, guys, I'm going to get out of here. You guys have a good night. The Muslims in work said he don't take shots. They told him he will have to pay for weekly tests. He rolled up his sleeve and got the shot. I think that's why they ask if you're vaccinated before someone gets the PCR test so they can dial it in. Oh yeah, maybe. All the new printed are going overseas. Pfizer freezer farm out here scares me a lot more than the nuke plant. All right, guys, listen. Hey, if you've been prepping or paying attention to this kind of shit, or even just listening to politics, right? Pick your date. I'm 50. I've probably been paying attention to this shit off and on for 30 years, right? There is always something coming to kill us. There is always some boogeyman. There's something that they need you to be fearful because that's cortisol. That's fight or flight. If you are busy paying attention or living in fear, you cannot operate at a higher level. If you took the energy that you're spending on all this time right now, and just instead of spending all your money every time in these prepper groups, right? There's always, I have $15 or I have $25 to spend. What should I buy? Your dumbass shouldn't buy shit. You should get another fucking 2 jobs. You should save your money and in 5 years buy a piece of property. That's what you should do. If you don't put the time and energy into all the fear, because if it's going to happen, it's going to happen anyways. No matter what happens, you're going to be better off having more money. And if you're worried, but John, I need to buy food. Okay, go buy a bunch of bags of rice. Go get you a bunch of bags of rice and beans and start one hell of a garden. I can't grow a garden. Well, then you should save all your money and get the fuck away from wherever you're at and go someplace where you can grow a garden. That's always the answer. Don't get distracted by all. Know it, but don't get distracted by it. Spend your time making money. It will allow you to do things. During the Civil War, during the Great Depression, during World War I, there were people that lived in misery, and there were people that made billions of dollars, well, millions back then of dollars. Be the guy making the millions of dollars. Identify a need, and then trade for the things you need with him. Sock the money away. You can't buy any kind of equipment if you never have the money to buy the equipment. All right, guys, good night.